Hello and welcome back to the TCM YouTube channel, where today we are kicking off our preview of the 2023 cricket season. And over the next few weeks, we are going to be interviewing 18 fans from the 18 counties and getting their take on how they think their teams will do this season. And first up, we are starting with Northamptonshire. And joining us to do that, I'm delighted to say we've got Isaac Lockett with us. Isaac, how are you today?
Yeah, good, Simon. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to getting stuck into the season.
Fantastic. Well, let's waste no time at all and get straight onto it. Northamptonshire last year, 6th in the county championship, 7th in the Vitality Blast, and 8th in the One Day Cup. Mixed results last year, not as high as you'd probably have wanted them to be. How do you reflect on last season, and what do you think the key is to do better this season?
I think to start with, I think the Red Bull campaign was absolutely what I expected. The goal for me heading into the season was to stay in Division One as a fan, and we were able to do that quite comfortably. I think there were a few draws that we could have potentially converted to wins, but overall, I was happy with the Red Bull campaign. White ball was a slightly different story. So in the One Day Cup and the Vitality Blast, I think traditionally Northants have been a side that have a white ball reputation, and I think we missed the mark a couple of times last season, mainly with the ball in hand. So kind of if I think what the key kind of improvement I want to see going ahead, it would be the bowling in white ball cricket. And I think there's the capability and about the coaches to get that improvement.
Absolutely. And just out of interest, going forward, which competition do you think the Northants have the best shot to win in this year?
I think the best chance we have is in the One Day Cup. I think for a lot of potentially the middling counties with players going on to the 100, Northamptonshire are one of those counties and do have the potential to go on a run in the 50 over competition.
Yeah, and you've been very busy over the off season. I think it is pretty fair to say. Lots of new signings in. Of course, you've re-signed Chris Lynn and AJ Ty. Or is AJ Ty new? I'm not quite sure. I think it's the re-sign. See, great prep already. And you've got a new captain in Luke Proctor, as well as Lewis McManus returning. How much do you think those signings are going to boost your side, and which one stands out for you?
So I think Chris Lynn coming back to Northamptonshire is a great move. There's no doubt he's probably the name on the team sheet a lot of people around the world would recognise when they look at the T20 lineup. So from a marketing perspective, it is great to see kind of Lynn Sanity returning back to Wantage Road. For me, kind of the most impactful signing could be David Willey coming back from Yorkshire. Wasn't mentioned, but I do think
It was
it's a
on my
big
list. It
sign.
was on my list. I just didn't mention.
No. Yes, I think his return is a big boost. Obviously, he's won the Vitality Blast with Northamptonshire. For a point, he was the kind of go-to player at the county, both with the ball and opened the bat in the white ball game. And it would be great to see him back at the top of the order or getting more opportunities with the bat in hand.
So, do you think you're strong contenders then for the Vitality Blast, given the fact that you've got Chris Lynn coming back and you've got David Willey as well, who was I think fantastic for Yorkshire last year in the Blast, if I remember correctly. Do you think that's going to just give them a nice boost in that competition, or are you a bit more sceptical?
I think I'm a bit more skeptical. I think there's definitely the potential there. I think there's no doubt that Northamptonshire have a potential to go on a quarter-final run to qualify for finals day. If we can sort the bowling out, which I think the addition of AJ Ty will definitely bring in a lot of experience. I think the opportunities there to push forward and actually qualify, unlike last season.
Yeah, and one thing as well that Northants seem to have at the moment, they seem to be a very developing side, and they've got a lot of young players coming through. I wonder what you think the role of the young players and the rookie players and those players who are maybe just breaking through in the team will be in the 2023 season, and how excited are you by the prospects of this fresh new talent coming out of Northants?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's often kind of underspoken about how much of a rebuild Northamptonshire have gone through in recent years. With some of our like kind of major stalwarts that I grew up watching kind of moving on, so likes of Wakely, Newton, Kleinvelt, even Ben Ducker, even though he is still playing, obviously just up at Nottingham instead. I think the young players are going to be key for us in all competitions this season. I think, especially the two kind of exciting young spinners that I can't wait to kind of watch in action in Alex Russell and Fred Heldrick. I think again, also we've got the experience of kind of Emilio Gay inside. Not a new player, but a very exciting younger player coming through. And I think they've got a massive role to fill. And it's, for me, it's about developing that kind of squad full of reliable, stalwart kind of players that we're kind of missing at the minute, apart from the likes of Rob Keogh and Ben Sanderson.
Yeah, and it's a good thing you've talked about a lot of players there. I wonder if you can pinpoint for us one or two who you think our viewers should watch and look out for in the 2023 seasons. Who's your key ones to watch?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when you think of Northamptonshire, you've got the likes of Ben Sanderson, Rob Keogh. I think Ben Sanderson is probably one of the best English red ball bowlers never to get a test call up. I think Rob Keogh again has been a very consistent, very effective county player, and his batting only seems to get better the more seasons that go on. I think those two are always kind of key standouts. Lewis McManus had a fantastic season last year. I was a bit skeptical, I will admit, when he came into the side, mainly because I hadn't seen much of him at Hampshire, and he was filling in for Adam Rossington, who again was a long-standing player for the team, and Lewis McManus was absolutely fantastic when he came in, and I'm hoping he can continue kind of that and really embrace the vice captain's role, which he seemed to enjoy.
Absolutely, and there's so much talent there. I think it's fair to say. I wonder if we can turn a bit to red ball cricket then. County Championship, 6th last year in Division 1. You mentioned that you were just happy to stay up. Do you think Northants can really push to those top places this year? Or are you a bit worried about maybe the makeup of the side and competing against, some fantastic sides which you've got in Division 1? What do you make of it, and do you think they can push for that those top places?
If I'm remembering the table rightly, there was almost like a top 4 and then a chasing pack.
Absolutely.
And there was quite a gap between those top 4. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see Northamptonshire continue to climb the table. I think there was only kind of 4 or 5 points between 5th and 6th as well, and I think Kent finished 5th. And if we're able to become kind of the best of the rest in our second season back in Division 1, that would be fantastic. I think we spent a long time in Division 2, and now we're building a team that are looking to consolidate and almost to use the footballing term, kind of avoid that second syndrome period that some teams do go through.
And just quickly for you, how excited are you to be back at Wantage Road and the prospect of watching cricket in 2023, just on a personal level?
Yes, I mean, so I actually live in Leeds despite being a Northamptonshire fan.
But it's good to know you're not a Yorkshire fan. That's the most important.
Been kind of watching cricket in Leeds whenever I can and listen. I think it's going to be great. I always go and see Northamptonshire when they do come in, hoping to get down to Wantage Road kind of a few more times this season, and I'm really excited to have the season come back. It's felt like a long off season. I think it's hard to avoid the fact that cricket's gone through a lot of troubling times over the winter, and it will be nice to see some action actually return to the pitch and hopefully give us some kind of positive stories to focus on.
Absolutely. And now it's time for the bit where I'm going to pin you down. I want to get some predictions from you. So we'll start off with the County Championship, because obviously that is the first competition that gets underway in just under a month's time. Where do you think, if you had to put a number on it from 1 to 8 or 9, well, I'm not 9, it's great, all this research I've done. If you had to put a number on it, where do you think they're going to finish and why?
I think we're going to finish 6th again. I think we have maintained kind of the core squad that did well last season. I think we've made some good additions. Looking forward to see how Sam Whiteman goes as the overseas this year. Do I think we're quite at the level to compete with the top four, as it were? Not yet, but I definitely think we're kind of on the right trajectory, and I'll be happy with a sixth place finish all day long.
Yep, and we'll move on then, because next up is the Vitality Blast. I actually thought last year Northants were on a bit of a run, unstoppable at the start, and then they seemed to trail off towards the end. Obviously, we mentioned earlier David Willey, Chris Lynn, AJ Ty. You've got a bit of I'd say a stellar side there. Are you going to be more optimistic with your prediction for the Vitality Blast? Where would you put them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of semi-finals would be kind of the minimum objective for the team. I do think they can go all the way. I think there's enough kind of depth and enough kind of explosion in the batting order to push us to those big scores. I think there's enough experience in the bowling lineup to help us kind of defend any totals we set. So yeah, quarterfinals. Obviously, anything can happen on a final, so I'm not going to say winners, but
yeah, believe me, I know. Believe me, I know.
There's no reason why not. Why we can't take that. Why we can't get into that finals day.
And absolutely, finally, then the One Day Cup. You said you were most optimistic about that. Do you think Northants can win the One Day Cup in 2023?
I would love to say yeah. I would love to turn around and say absolutely. Realistically, we had such a poor campaign last time round. I would just like to see some form of improvement. Do I think they can win it? Absolutely. If everything comes together and they play like the team can, I think if players like James Sales get an extended run, then absolutely, I think we can go to the kind of quarterfinal, semi-final stage again and be competitive all the way through.
I'm going to pin you down for either a placement in the group. Do you think they'll get to the semi-finals? Let me ask you that. Do you think they'll get to the semi-finals?
Yeah, I'm going to be optimistic and say yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
Fantastic. This is great because we get to come back to these at the end of the season. Thank you so much for joining us, Isaac. It's been an absolute pleasure. Go well for the season in club cricket. If you play club cricket, enjoy watching Northants as well. And we will see you next time.